The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the February 3rd, the terrific Thursday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Hey, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, well, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. And today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I do want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. And more important than that, and that's this. During this next 60 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to reach out to me. Give me a call at 877-927-6648. Would love to hear from you. If you can't call in, we've got you covered there too. Let those fingers do the walking. Go ahead and send me an email. Send it to steve@tfnn.com. Inside the subject heading, if you would be kind enough to put radio show question, of course, in our Tiger's Den. Well, any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on terrific Thursday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. We got a sea of red out here. The Dow's off 352, S&P 81, NASDAQ 100, 472. It's actually the semis, percentage-wise, that are leading to the downside, 3 3/10%, 120 points. Russell's off 27. You've got gold trading out at 18.04. That's off about $5. And silver's trading at 22.36. That's down 34%, 1.5%. Light sweet crude is the only thing green on my left-hand side of the screen, other than the spot volatility, which is up 9%. You want to watch that one-day rate of change come day's end. If it is above plus 10%, what you'd really like to see, if that occurs, is some type of Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom pattern. In fact, you'd like to see it on all 4 equity future contracts out there. That is not what the position that it's in right now, but I'll just turn over to that set of charts out here. Here's the 30-minute time frame charts, and typically it's the 30-minute charts that provide the best signals. Why, I don't know. I just know that they do out here. And what you'd be looking for, this is if there's a one-day rate of change greater than plus 10% out there. If you take a look at the NQ, so the NQ has been attempting to form Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom signals out here. It actually did generate a bullish reversal candle, and this was a 4-bar candle. You've heard of the Three River, or you've heard me refer to it as a Three River Morning Star. That candle session can actually occur over multiple bars out here. You just have to know the pattern, and that's what occurred. And what price did at 10:30 is it closed just above the top of that profile. But you know, Stevie's got that 2-bar rule out there. We don't like those one-hit wonders. In this case here, that's all that it was. Now price is trading below the bottom of its daily profile. Still has that Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal triggered, as does the Russell 2000, as does the Dow out here. So again, this is not an exercise at 109. This is more of like an exercise at about 6 o'clock tonight. That is assuming, that is if you actually see that one-day rate of change above plus 10% out there. Okay, so didn't really want to start there. Well, we just kind of flow like we flow. Here's where I believe the equity markets are headed to, and the Russell's at it right now, so maybe the Russell's going to give us the real signal out here. That real signal, we've got the daily time frame charts. And although we don't have a topping pattern, certainly what took place in Facebook and some of the other instruments reporting earnings that are having an impact on the markets out here, moving markets lower. So where is the first price target on the way down? You know that, I know that, and that would be that red oscillator and change line. So in the case of the ES Mini, it would be 44.70. In the case of the NQ, I got to tell you, I can't really read behind that, but I can tell you like this. So it's a 14.597 inside the YM, 34.894, and the Russell is hitting it right now. The exact number for the Russell 2000 is 1991.50, and we're at 1994. So the question is, now the Russell's the weaker of all of these instruments out here. If we just take a look at the retracement from high to low, it's got the weakest retracement out there. Price has not been able to even get above the top of its daily profile, at least using my white background charts out here at the 2061 level. So the first likely target for support doesn't mean that it's going to hold its support, but the first likely target for support are those oscillator and change lines. In the case of the Russell, let's say it closes below the oscillator and change line, then we've got those market profile areas on a daily time frame, 1977, 1913. In the case of the ES Mini, go back up the upper left-hand side. If 4470-ish does not hold, then we'd be looking at 4396. Now, of these four, the actual best signal may come from the NQ. Now, the NQ's oscillator and change line, we gave you that price. Let me just give it to you once again out here. It is at the 14,600 area. What my preference would be, so that is a bullish structure, a bearish structured profile. And price closed above it. Now, it really didn't close above it for 2 days. If it did, what I'm about to say would have more conviction. But nonetheless, it did close above that level. My experience is, if this is just a counter trend move, then where price should find support is at the center of that profile. So the resistance or the support level is really going to be between 14,484 and whatever that oscillator and change line value is that I gave to you. If that doesn't hold, well, then that says we go back and we either retest the bottom of the profile, which would then get us back into that January 24th candle session out there that we would be testing. Now, what could occur here, I say what could occur, and let's just switch over and we'll go take a look at the NQ first. We'll go take a look at maybe each of them, but I'll start with the NQ since that's the weak link out here. So give me a moment to figure out where I've got that. Sorry about this. NQ's right here. Now, what we're looking for, we're just trying to understand from the daily perspective, which we've got a price target. Do we see any bottom signals at present on the intraday time frame charts? Well, the 30-minute chart we already covered. The answer there is no. We don't have a bottoming signal on the 60-minute chart, although it's going to form bar number 8 during this hour that ends at 2 o'clock. So there could be. Now, it's got a spike below the low of the last session, the last hour session out there. But you could see a TD9 count bottom form inside the NQ, really between 2 and 4 o'clock today. That's a possibility. No bottoming signal on the 2-hour chart. No bottoming. Well, I take that back. We are in bar number 8 on the 240. So by the end of the day, it too could form a TD9 count bottom. And the 5-hour chart, no chance it will form a TD9 count bottom, not during the afternoon hours. That would require going into the evening time frame. But my point here is that we don't see any kind of a bottoming signal. So, and with price below on the 30-minute chart below the bottom of its profile, its oscillator and change line, we should see price continue to move lower. And if we do that, that's a signal that, and maybe what we're going to see is a really horrible close out there. But that real horrible close, for those of you that are traders, certainly intraday type traders, I'd be looking for that spot volatile index, see what the one-day rate of change is, look for that Rhodes momentum indicator signal. If you're not familiar with that, then go sign up for Mastering Probability. I don't care if you do it for 29 days, where it costs you nothing to do that, but you will learn that pattern and many, many more patterns out there. So we're going to go to a break. I'll go ahead and set these charts here for the ES Mini. When we come back, unless we've got a call or a request out here, go take a look at it. Just peel it back, take a look at what's going on the intraday time frame. Is there a signal that we should see price get back to that 44.70 level? That's the question. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. Right back.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. We're going to switch over. We got a couple of questions inside the Tiger's Den, so I don't want those to get away from me. The first one was to take a look at light sweet crude. A couple of questions that have come in. The real question is looking for some type of topping pattern or signal out here. So as we take a look at the daily time frame chart, there's a couple of different things that we can see. Let me expand this just a tad here. And so we can see that coming off of the low from December the 2nd out there, it has gotten to wave number 7. That's letter G. That is an element of the Chapman wave out there. Now, as long as we have a lower high today, lower high than yesterday, then that 7th wave move for letter G will be confirmed. Now, what you'd like to see, if that's going to be a confirmed top, is you'd like to see a close below that green oscillator and change line. As you can see, price has not been below the oscillator and change line since December 20th. It changes color right here on the trading day of December 30th. It took, and that typically tells us that we're going to see price and that line catch up to each other. Well, it did that. It took all the way up here until January 24th. Now, that test was a bullish signal. Why? Because when you know that you're anticipating a test of that green oscillator and change line because of the change in color, and you pull back and test it and rejects it, it tells you that is a bullish signal. It did it the following day as well. It's done it for the last 4 trading sessions. That tells you about the power of that oscillator and change line. This is telling us we have a rising price oscillator above 0. That is a bullish signal. Now, there's a new profile that has formed out here. 89.05 is the top of that. If price closes above that, that would be a bullish signal out there, even with a 7th wave move. If price gets above yesterday's high, that just extends that 7th wave move out there. There's also Rhodes momentum indicator signals here that are triggered. You need a bearish reversal candle to confirm that pattern out here. In the case of light sweet crude, whichever pattern it is. Maybe what you really need to see then, if this is a top, is a close below 85.68 out there. So that's coming from the daily time frame. As we pull this back and take a look at the other time frames, let's say the weekly, no sign of a top. Yes, price is stretcher in bar number 7. This is suggesting to me that price wants to continue to move higher. The monthly time frame chart, now this is the continuous contract, so we're not looking at the March contract. It's the only way for me to be able to get all the data in here. What this is telling us is that price wants to go target 106.09. Now, as we take a look at this formed a TD9 count, and it did its job. It formed the TD9 count back on July 21st. And that led to a bit of a pullback, more really of a sideways-ish type move out there. The oscillator and change line had changed colors back in May of 2021. You get that bullish test on the trading day. Even though it's a red candle, doesn't matter. Price in November came back, tested and rejected that line. That really gave you a neutral signal for that time frame. And then last month, price closed above its TD9 count top. It's bullish. The longer-term chart here for light sweet crude says it wants to get up to the 106.09 level. I'm not saying that's where it stops. I'm saying that would become the next price target. So the question was, is there any signal here of a potential top? We've just explored that on the daily time frame. I suggest caution out here. And right now, as we're speaking, some of you may be noticing the 30-minute time frame chart. The 30-minute time frame chart formed a TD9 count. Price just moved sideways, pulled back just a tad out here. Now price is trading above the top of that profile. We may very well likely see, in fact, light sweet crude take out the high of yesterday. Again, that would just simply extend wave number 7 or letter G when you take a look at my chart. So I hope that helps you out. That was and the last level of TAS market profile resistance is up at the level of 89.03. So we close above that, 89.03, close above 89.05 on the daily. Then it is off to the races to the upside, or should be, for light sweet crude. The second question was to take a look at the U.S. dollar index. So I'm going to switch over to those charts here momentarily. I think I have those ready to go. Here we go. So in the U.S., this is for CODA in the Tiger's Den. And what was the question? Thoughts on the dollar, please. So the U.S. dollar index forms a TD. This is the bottom right-hand panel, CODA. Forms a TD9 count top. Price pulls back. It's now below the bottom of its profile, which was at 95.60. So what it wants to do is it wants to target the breakout level of 95.10. The question is, will that hold as support? Code, if we go take a look at the euro right now, the euro, in essence, almost the opposite of the U.S. dollar, not completely because it has these 6 currency pairs that make this up. But if we take a look at the euro, this forms a TD9 count bottom, and right now price is trading above its breakout level, 114, 1.1421 to be exact. If it closes above that, and certainly closes above for 2 consecutive days, then the signal here is that the euro should make a run for its next breakdown level, and that would be at 1.1608. If that's going to happen, then the U.S. dollar index is going to fail to hold 95.10. So I don't know which of the two is going to give us the bigger signal, since the euro is a large component of the U.S. dollar index out here. If the U.S. dollar index if the euro closes above that breakdown level, odds favor that the U.S. dollar, just favors that the U.S. dollar will not hold that area out here. If there's anything else worthwhile to take a look at. So if you take a look at the Great British Pound, so this is great. Those of you that trade currency pairs, those of you that are familiar with the TD9 counts, you got to love this because it formed a TD9 count high. That was the top. Forms a TD9 count low. Now price here above its green oscillator and change line. The Great British Pound should continue to get stronger. It should head up to 136. If the Great British Pound takes out 136 out there, that's going to add more weakness to the U.S. dollar index. So this signal here in the pound says it wants to move higher. So it's already going to put some pressure on the U.S. dollar index. The euro trading above that breakdown level. Of course, it depends on what the end of day close is, but right now it is slightly above that area. If it continues to move higher, that puts weakness inside the U.S. dollar. The yen, in this chart here, the yen needs to trade lower in order to put more weakness into the U.S. dollar index. And right now it's just sitting at its green oscillator and change line. So it really depends on its close. If it closes below that, we could see the yen move down to the 113-ish type level out there. So I hope that helps you out, Coda, with regard to the U.S. dollar index and what it is doing out there. Now, many people are probably listening to me saying, oh, this is great. You got the U.S. dollar index moving lower. That means gold should absolutely just simply take off out there. Well, there's more to it than that. And that's a beautiful thing, because here we can go take a look at what that more than that is. And what that more than that is how is this commodity, precious metals, Goldilocks, trading in all major currencies out here? Well, if you take a look at the gold in terms of U.S. dollars, it's just a sideways move. It's not taking out the high from yesterday. Did take out the low, hasn't taken out the high. If we take a look at gold in terms of euros, really taken out yesterday's low, trading lower. Take a look at it in yen. It's actually taken out yesterday's high and trading higher. If you take a look at it in pounds, trading lower. So the reason to show this to you is because we cannot be myopic and only think about us. I know it's nice to only think about ourselves out there, but when it comes to trading, and especially when it comes to something like Goldilocks, you need to see how this is trading in all major currencies. Now, I don't have the same chart here for light sweet crude. Odds favor that if we took a look at it, it's likely trading higher in all currencies. Maybe not today, but generally speaking, it probably is. And that's why it's in such a breakout mode here. But those folks who trade gold in terms of pounds or in terms of euros, they're not necessarily saying, hey, we're buyers out here. And that's why we've seen kind of a stall. It's really a stalemate. So we always want to understand how an instrument is trading in terms of the major currencies, especially when it comes to Goldilocks. So do not think just because I said the U.S. dollar index is going to go target 95.10, depending on the other currencies, may target 93.81. That does not mean that gold takes off to the moon. Not even close. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. You're right.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading market and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at natural gas right now. If we take a look at natural gas, it has an A to B equals CD pattern on the daily time frame. Although I can't draw it in, you can see the A point was confirmed back on December 31st. It was a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom that formed out there. That little piercing candle creates the A to B equals CD pattern. More than a 1-to-1 out here. Big wide-ranging bar yesterday. It's typically not how markets complete, but as we see, we now have a dark cloud cover candle. And we'll have a dark cloud cover as long as price stay closes below about $5.15, I'd say. That's about halfway into yesterday's bar. What we also see is that oscillator and change line changed colors from red to green about 4 trading sessions ago. We know that price and that line have a test with each other. So right now, the target is about 450. Price doesn't have to get back there. We can see sideways movement. The line moves higher, price sideways, but we should see a test of that line. Now, like we discussed before, if you see a test and rejection of a green oscillator and change line, and certainly one that has changed colors, that would be a bullish signal. Price closes below it says you have more retracement as long as that as long as the line remains green out there. Now, there are a couple. So if you're trading natural gas and you're long, I probably wouldn't, if you haven't sold here yet, what I would do is I would be watching the 60-minute and the 120-minute charts. And the reason is because both of them have TD9 count bottoms. So if the low of today gets taken out, the low of today is 4.906. That tells you we're going to see lower price. And that then would suggest, in case of natural gas, it gets back to that oscillator and change line around the 450 area. So you've got two charts, 60 and 120-minute charts that have bottom signals. That may just be a bounce up to their oscillator and change line levels. That's at 506 out here. But those are the charts. Those are the time frames that I'd be watching if I were in light sweet crude. I'm sorry, if I was in the natural gas trade. We've got a request to take a look at Merck. MRK is a ticker symbol. So here I'm going to need to change some screens. So give me a moment to do that. We'll first pop over to the black background chart screens. And while I get that set up, then I'll go to the white background chart screens and get those set up, and then we'll be able to take a full look at Merck out here. Right now, what we can see is Merck is just simply consolidating. It appears to be consolidating with inside its daily profile out there. The top of that profile is at 81.84, and the bottom is at 77.51. It's consolidating with inside its weekly profile. So if price is able to close below 77.51, we'd be looking to move likely down to the 72.26 to 73.62 level out there. Price on a monthly basis above the top of the monthly chart. But what we want to see is, does the monthly chart give us any kind of a signal out here? I don't know the answer. But now that we have the white background charts all set, we're going to go find out. We'll start with the yearly. Okay, so on the yearly chart for Merck, we have a TD9 count top that formed. We have a Rhodes momentum indicator signal that has formed. So what Merck is suggesting to us, who had that request, I don't remember, but G7. What Merck is suggesting is that it's made its high, it's made its top, it's over, done, kaput. Well, not really done kaput, but it does say that the high is in for Merck out here. We take a look at the annual chart. The monthly time frame chart, wave number 7, there's that letter G that we were talking about on the light sweet crude daily time frame chart out there. That identified the top. We just have a consolidation right now. So if the yearly chart, which is saying be careful if you are long. Now that can't be it. I've got a bad can. I've got to believe I've got a bad candle out here. But regardless of that, at this stage here, the key levels to be watching would be 73.47. If price closes below 73.47 in the case of Merck, that's going to be a signal that price is moving to the downside. Boy, I don't know why I got this really bad tick out here. I'll have to go try to figure that out. So on the weekly time frame chart, I don't have anything else to assist us with. The daily, are we going to still see that? No, we're not going to see that. Okay, great. So on the daily time frame chart, what do we have? What do we have? I don't have much other than price made its way, so it forms that TD9 count bottom, makes its way almost up to the breakdown level, G7, which was at 82.90. And so what I'd be watching for here is support. And that's at either 77.51 or 75.35. But I'd be careful because the yearly time frame says we may have seen the highs for Merck out there. So just be careful. Now, I'll do one more thing here. When we take a look at the Merck chart, how is price trading today into the prior swing point? So we'll pull this back to the left chart. The prior swing point I'm referring to is from the trading day of January 24th. The volume there, I think it was 17 million. Was it 17? Yeah, 17 million. You're at 9 right now. So you're pulling back into that level. Well, appears to be on a little bit lighter volume. But if price closes below 80.11, and you're trading right now at 79.08, even if it's on lighter volume, it would at least suggest to move back to 77.51 out there when we take a look at Merck. So we're going to call it a consolidation right now, but be very, very, did I say very? Be very cautious on Merck. That annual TD9 count out there says be very, 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 very careful. All right, let's go to our next question. It's LEGN. This is for Dan inside the Tiger's Den, and that is a Legend Biotech, LEGN. And so as we take a look at it, we like what it did the last 3 days, including today. Price closing above the top of its daily profile, and that's at the 40.52 level. Price yesterday and today coming back, testing that, and so far rejecting it. Now, the thing that it's dealing with here, Dan, is on its rally, where it's stopping at is the bottom of that weekly profile. Remember, you close below a weekly profile, it typically gives us a change in trend signal. Well, that's what we got 3 weeks ago, then 2 weeks ago, then last week, and this week may be the same signal here. So what you really want to see if you're long this instrument is you really want to see this close above 42.80. That would be the bottom of the weekly profile, and that would then suggest maybe getting up to 49.32. As we pull over the Legend out here and take a look at the white background charts on the daily time frame, what do we see? We see a wave number 7 bottom. That's letter G out here. That took place on January 28th. We know where it rallied. We know what it ran into. If it can get back inside that weekly profile, Dan, then the signal would be a move up to 47.20. In fact, what it would do is likely set up an A to B equals CD to the upside that we would take a look at. But on the daily time frame, the next resistance level, should this continue to move higher, would be 47.20. On a weekly time frame, as we take a look at it, what do we have out here? Let's populate this. And we don't have anything. When I say we don't have anything, we've got the top. That was the Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. That was confirmed with that 3-river evening star pattern out here. Now, this did form a hammer candle, and price closed below it last week out there. So that says a real key level of support that just kind of, didn't hold. And if price doesn't close above that 42.80 level, I'd be careful, because what this could be doing is generating or setting up an A to B equals CD to the downside. I don't think the monthly chart's going to give us much to go on here. Yeah, it does. It's not really providing a ton of information out there. So back to the Legend. LEGN is a ticker symbol. Back to its daily time frame. If it can, nothing else that I can really add here. We know the resistance area that it has to clear. One final time, that's going to be the 42.80 area. If it can't do that, then we're in a situation where it can't bust it up, but yet it still has not been able to bust it to the downside. So, Dan, I hope that helps you out. Thanks so much for the request out there. You're welcome. Somebody types in the den, Ruby. Nancy Pelosi. Russia-Ukraine situation is deadly serious. Rubio is convinced of invasion. Tensions are elevating once again. Well, folks, I think these guys just want to drag us into a war. Right? And if they do, we took a look at those charts yesterday. If you didn't see those charts yesterday, it was during the first half hour of the show. Go back and watch the archive out there. Be careful. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. You're right back.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. So we've got a couple requests that have come in by email. Let's get to those. Craig H. writes in, and he says, is this heading to 2,400? This being Amazon. Earnings tonight currently hold, but considering getting out before the close. So let's go take a look at Amazon. AMZN is the ticker symbol out here. See what it is doing, where it's trading into, where there's some support or resistance out here. So Amazon's got support at 2760.84. That's the bottom of its daily profile. Price is below the weekly. So we're going to want to really see a bottom out there when we take a look at Amazon, and it's below the monthly profile. So, Craig, I can understand your decision to want to jettison a position here because the weekly and the monthly say caution Will Robinson. In fact, let's start with the yearly. What do we have on the yearly out here with regard to Amazon? We've got TD9 count top. Yeah, I'm telling you, this market is technically speaking, folks. We just took a look at Amazon on a yearly basis. We looked at Merck on a yearly basis. This market is set up for a pullback. Not just a pullback. I mean, we're talking about a pullback for 1, 2, 3 years out here, all the signals. So, and if these things fail, then we will see a little rocket ship to the upside. The monthly time frame, as we take a look at Amazon out here, it formed a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. Prices lost the first level of support. That was the bottom of its bullish structured monthly profile last month. This says that Amazon should head to 1626. I'm not saying it does that overnight. Not that it couldn't, but I'm not saying that that's what it does. But the message here from the monthly time frame chart, if you're a long-term holder, is that this wants to head lower. The weekly time frame chart, we know it's below the weekly profiles. It does have a TD9 count out here. The oscillator and change line has changed colors. So if there's a positive result here, Craig, you should see price target that 31.98-ish level out there. But you've got the TD9 count bottom. A lower low this week still would generate a TD9 count because it would be the bar following bar number 9. But that next level lower where price would or should target would be about the 2330 level. But the weekly has got a valid bottoming pattern as we speak right now in an oscillator and change line that suggests that price should move higher. On the daily time frame, also has a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. It's got wave number 7 as well. Does not have a TD9 count bottom. So, but price is back below that red oscillator and change line. It looks like, let's go take a look at volume out here. Maybe the volume piece of the puzzle, Craig, is really just what we need to look at in this stage here. So we're pulling back into the swing point from January 24th. That's where the market made that bottom, those big hammer candles. No hammer candle here in Amazon. Volume there was 7.8 million shares. You're already doing 5.5. So your last bastion of support out here, from a profile standpoint, is 2760.84. Don't know whether it will hold or not. Don't know where you're in on this. But the monthly says over time it wants lower price. The weekly says, hey, I might want to bounce because of that TD9 count bottom out here. And the daily just says, hey, I hope 2760 holds as support. Of course, you'd like to see 2976 fail to hold as resistance. That is the top of the profile out there. So I wish I could be more definitive for you, but I do hope that helps you out, Craig. And thanks so much for writing in. Hector, in the fuel injectors, want to take a look at ConocoPhillips, COP. Must be having a good day because we just took a look at light sweet crude during the break, and it took out yesterday's highs. So actually, it's having a so-so day, but it's doing pretty well from the standpoint. Its price closed above the top of the daily profile 2 days ago. Yesterday was the second. Today is nothing more than a pullback to test that area of support. Old resistance becoming new support. That's at 89.74. So, Hector, you'd like to see price stay above 89.74. That would suggest a run up to that 96.40 level. If I pull over the white background ConocoPhillips charts out here, I would start with the weekly time frame. No topping signal here. Well, it does have wave number 7, but that can't be confirmed until next week. If I look at the daily time frame chart, any kind of topping signal here, it is generating a Rhodes momentum indicator top because it's a bearish engulfing candle, Hector. However, price is above the top of that profile, and that generates a neutral signal for us. Neutral signals, obviously, it could go either way out here, but being above the top of the daily profile, and you'd like to see this actually close today above its oscillator and change line as well. That's at 90.31. We're trading at 90.04. Your question is COP on a 30-minute basis. Okay, let's go take a look at the 30-minute chart out here. Oh, whoops. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to do that. I meant to do this. Get to the 30-minute tab. And your question is, COP on a 30-minute basis here show, begun, turned around, please confirm. Loaded up your wagon COP for long-term hold. Boat to 106. So what this has on the 30-minute chart out here, and I apologize, I don't understand your question, show begun, has it begun to turn around? No, it hasn't. What it did is it generated a TD9 count top. And it does that at 10 o'clock this morning. And what price did in the case of ConocoPhillips is it has pulled back below its breakout level of 90.41 out there. So that's what's coming from the 30-minute time frame chart out here. I'd focus, I'd watch the daily. Really, it's the daily because price is above the top of that profile. So you loaded up the truck. I don't know where you're in at out here, but I don't see a reason at this moment to jettison that position, especially considering that light sweet crude is taken out yesterday's high. So the only topping signal that we saw there was wave number 7. Let me go back to light sweet crude here. Give me a moment, and we'll pull up the light sweet crude charts. I'll get to the quad panel out here for it as soon as I can find it. Right here. And so it's taken on that last level of resistance. That's the bottom right-hand panel, 89.03. It's not taking it on. It's trading above it. So price is above all profile resistance at 148 in the afternoon. Light sweet crude is headed to the moon. It's the only instrument that is headed to the moon out there. So, Hector, if it's me, and again, I don't know your trade parameters, where you got in and so forth, I'm sticking with that trade. So I do hope that helps you out. Nick writes in, and Nick wants to take a look at the SMHs out here. So they're having a horrible day. But let's try to figure out where that horrible day is taking price to. What does that actually mean out here? So let's pull over the white background charts. We can go back to these black background charts momentarily. But as we take a look at SMH, what do we have? So price is just simply pulled back, and it's testing that red oscillator and change line. TD9 count bottom. This could be setting up an A to B equals CD to the upside. It's in a bullish structured profile. In essence, it's held that center level. The center level is at 272.29. You can get all the way down there. But as long as it holds the oscillator and change line and the 272.29 level, what this could be doing, Nick, is setting up the C point of an A to B equals CD. That should take price up to the 301.80 level. Your question is, if you have time, would you please look at SMH? Is there a bottom in any time frame? So this is the weekly. So yeah, there was a bottom 4 days ago, that TD9 count. And now the question is this just making a C point of an A to B equals CD. We'll take a look at the volume, see if it's pulling back on lighter volume momentarily. On a weekly time frame, we don't have any kind of a bottom signal here. In fact, this is saying that, hey, the SMH is wanting to head lower. Change in trend because price closed below its below structured profile a couple weeks ago. Monthly time frame for the SMH is say what? They say they have a three-river evening star, but prices held support. That first key level, the real level of support here, 234.31. But price is trading above the top of its monthly profile, but below its oscillator and change line. So its signal is somewhat neutral. Neutral on the monthly, bearish on the weekly, bullish on the daily. So you've got confusing signals. And intraday, your question was, is there any bottom in any of the time frames? I don't have a bottoming signal on the 30-minute chart out here, and I do on a 10-minute chart. But you're not going to use that really to make your trading decisions out there. So, Nick, thanks so much for writing in, and hope that helps you out with regard to the SMHs. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are you looking for a secured investment which pays you on a monthly basis? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be the program for you. The best rate on a 5-year CD in the country right now, according to Bankrate.com, is paying 1% per year or $1,000 per $100,000 invested. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly, on secured, high-value, buildable properties in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment is for 4 years, paying 7% per year or $7,000 per $100,000 invested. Your investment is secured by high-value real estate in St. Petersburg, Florida. Your investment can be anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. Do you want to make $1,000 per year on $100,000 invested or $7,000 per year on a secured Tiger First mortgage? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be just the program for you. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly. For more information, you can call 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. So we've been through all of the questions that have come in, or at least I believe we have. So that's always good. And we've got 2 minutes left. And I'm just searching around here trying to figure out, what is – well, you know what we didn't do? We went through the detail charts for the NQ. We didn't do that for the ES Mini. So let's go ahead and do that. Give me a moment here. We'll fire up a different screen. We'll take a look at our 8-panel charts for the ES Mini. Maybe that's how we'll end our day together. So what we're looking for here – so right now my thought process is that price is likely going to pull back and test its oscillator and change line. At least that's the first potential test. Currently printed about 44.71. As long as price remains below 45.34, that is a likely outcome. 30-minute time frame chart. It does have a wave number 7 that is present. That formed on the last bar. If that low does not get taken out, which it's likely not to in the next 4 minutes out here, you've got a wave number 7. Now, price would need to get above its oscillator and change line at about 45.09 or so, 45.08. And then what you'd be looking for is, can price take out the 45.33 level? That's where a rally would slow down or stop. You've got a TD9 count bottom at TD9 breakout support on the 60-minute chart. So that says, okay, should move higher. No other bottom patterns. Don't have one on the 120. Don't want to have one on the 240. Do not have anything on the 5-hour time frame chart out here. Still, my take is to watch for that 44.71-ish level. If that fails to hold its support, then we'd be looking for price to move back to about the 43.96 area. Real quick, the Dow has been stronger than the other 3 or the other 2 that we've taken a look at. Let me see if I can pop those charts up here real quickly. In the case of the Dow, it may be targeting the 34.905 level. Now, I say stronger because if you look at the 30-minute time frame chart, and I'll just simply expand this out. Give me a moment here to do this. What we can see is price is pulled back and it has held the TD9 breakout level. On a 30-minute basis, this has not even given us a change in trend signal. And as we speak right now, it's confirming a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. If, in fact, price is able to close about 35,245 on a 30-minute basis, expect and anticipate the ES Mini to bounce up to 35,452. Okay, two more 8 hours left. Your favorite polar bear, David White. After that, tough to find home. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, I'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock sharp. We're going to do the show early. Take care, folks.